Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are doing a decluttering video. In today's video I'm going to go ahead and tackle all of my blushes, declutter them, reorganize them. I have some new acrylic organizers to put my blushes and stuff into to kind of see if I can make better sense of everything in my drawers. My blush drawer is kind of overflowing with face palettes in the back and the blushes up in the front. I don't even have any more storage for a lot of my brushes, so they're just hanging out loose in here. So we're going to go ahead and deep dive into here and reorganize and declutter everything in here. If you guys like these types of videos, I'm starting a whole playlist series of them on my YouTube channel, so you should make sure to check out all the decluttering videos that I have and subscribe so you do not miss out on anything. And let's go ahead and jump right into this. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and take everything out of here so that we can see it and open every single thing, swatch it, make sure it is what we want. So I'm gonna take everything out of here and then we'll clean this drawer out and then we'll put the new organizers in and we'll start decluttering. Okay, so first blush right here. This blush is a Kevin Aquan blush. This is the Neo blush in the shade Pink Sand. This is pretty new to me. I actually found this blush at TJ Maxx and I used it in a pretty recent TJ Maxx haul video, and I really do like this blush a lot. It goes from like a dusty rosy pink to like almost a NARS Orgasm type of vibe with a lot of shimmers, so I do really like this guy. It's pretty new to me and I have been using it. Next up, I have a lot of these Tarte blushes right here. They're all in the more mini size because I got them as a holiday set from Tarte. Tarte blushes, the Amazonian clay like 24-hour blushes, are some of my favorite blushes ever. If you guys like blushes from Tarte, you should always check out their holiday sales that they have because you can always find some really good blushes during that time. So I got these all as a set of one, and these are not going to go anywhere because these are some of my favorites in my collection. Next up I have two of these little NYX blushes right here. These are the NYX Studio blushes. This one's in the shade Amber, number 11. It's kind of like a more like dusty pink kind of color, and I do really love this blush, but it's just been buried underneath so many others that I've barely been using it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this one from NYX as well. And then I also have this guy right here, which is another blush from that same range. This one's a number 10 Double Dare. And this is like a hot fire Cheetos type vibe. I can't even tell you guys the last time I wore this blush. It is so vibrant. I don't even actually know why it's in my collection. I feel like this would be beautiful on super deep skin tones because it would almost turn out as like a peachy warm type of color, but definitely not for me. It is pretty clownish. Go ahead and declutter this guy. Okay, next up is a blush from MAC. This one is in the shade Harmony. Pretty staple color from MAC Cosmetics. A lot of people like this blush. It's just a really good nude blush. It doesn't really have a ton of color into it. It's kind of like a more browner toned type of blush, but I do like this one, and this is actually the only MAC blush that I own, so I'm not going to get rid of this guy. Okay, and I have a couple random blushes over here. This blush is from Studio Makeup. This is a blush that I have gotten in my BoxyCharm, and it's kind of a really similar color to that NYX blush that I just kept. Kind of another like dusty, warm pink kind of color. So yeah, these two guys are definitely pretty similar, but these are one of my favorite colors of blush to wear, so you're gonna see a lot of repeats of this kind of color, but that's okay. These are different formulas, high-end price, drugstore price, so I'm gonna keep both of these guys still. This is a blush from Makeup Geek. This is in their older packaging because Makeup Geek recently did just go through a rebranding. This is in the shade XOXO. It's a little bit brighter of a more dusty pink, definitely a little more true pink kind of color This might be the brightest blush that I own, so for that instance I'm probably going to keep it because I don't really wear a lot of pink, but when I do need it for a specific type of look, I want to be able to reach for this one. Plus Makeup Geek makes really good products. And then the next one that I see is this right here. This is the Too Faced Love Flush brushes. This is in one of their Sweetheart blushes. This one is in Candy Glow. These used to be all of the rave a couple years ago. They still have a lot of products in this little like heart-shaped packaging, like the Sweet Tea bronzer and stuff like that. This blush is from so long ago. I don't actually wear it that much anymore, but the color is so stunning. It's definitely like a very glowy type of blush. I don't really wear it that much, but kind of like the Naked 2 palette, if you just watched my eyeshadow declutter, this is probably like one of the first blushes I ever bought myself, so it's kind of like nostalgic. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this guy. It'll probably always be like a little collector's item to me, so I'm gonna keep this guy. Okay, next up I have a Lancome blush right here. This one is in the shade 371 Pink Fling. So it kind of looks like this. On the inside, again, a really nice pink color, but I did keep that one pink blush that I said I would use if I ever needed a pink color. This blush is super stunning and glowy, but I just know I'm not going to use it because I don't really use colors like this very often. I already kept one. So I'm going to go ahead and let go of this Lancome blush. Okay, and then next up, this blush right here is from the brand called Note. This is their Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in the shade number 05 Desert Rose. I got this blush in a BoxyCharm. This blush is a little different than some of the other brushes I have in my collection. This one's a little bit more of like a warm tone kind of peachy color. Not as vibrant as that next one that I decided to declutter. So I am going to keep this guy because if I ever decide to wear like a warm orangey type of Hot Cheetos vibe blush, then I'll be able to reach for one because I got rid of that next one. So I should keep at least one orange blush. And then next up is this Milani Romantic Rose blush right here. This one's in the shade 01 Romantic Rose. Again, this is like my favorite color in the style of blushes. This is like a matte dusty rose kind of color. So let me get a decent swatch on that guy for you guys. There that is right there. Definitely one of the least pigmented blushes so far that I've swatched in my collection, which is okay. I do like a buildable blush sometimes, but I do like this blush, I believe. I think I used it in a trying out some of my old favorites type of video, and I'm not sure if it really impressed me as much as it used to. But I'm going to keep it for now. I'll try it again and then we'll see. If it's not my fave anymore, then we'll just go ahead and declutter this guy later. Okay, and then I have two Clinique blushes right here. These are the Clinique Cheek Pops. This one right here is in 02 Peach Pop. These Clinique blushes are some of the best little blushes ever. They're so cute, they're so glowy, they're tiny and compact, but they pack a really big punch. So that's what the 02 Peach Pop looks like right there. And then this one is in 05 Nude Pop. This is kind of like a more browner kind of nude type of blush, kind of similar to the MAC one, but the MAC one was matte and this one is glowy. So I do think it is okay to keep both of these since they're a little bit different than some of the other blushes that I've kept. Plus I really like the formula on these guys, so I am going to keep both of the Clinique Cheek. And then next up, this is a oldie but a goodie. This is the Milani Baked Blush in 05 Luminoso. This is actually the original packaging and the original formula of the blush. I know some people have talked about how the blush has kind of changed over the years, but this is the OG Luminoso. I've had it ever since it came out. It is one of the most stunning, light, peachy, kind of gold champagne-y blushes that there are out there. Nothing will ever beat this blush, plus collector's item because I have the original. So I am going to keep this guy. And then I have another one of those Milani baked blushes. This one's in the shade 09 Red Vino. This guy is actually pretty dark. I've used it a handful of times, especially back in the day whenever I was dancing. I used to use this as one of my stage blushes, but it's definitely pretty dang dark. I don't really know if I'll ever wear a blush that dark, to be honest, so I probably should just go ahead and declutter this guy. I don't really know if I have any blushes very similar to that are this dark, but we'll probably go ahead and declutter this one. And you know what, actually the only blush that I can think of that might be kind of comparable to that guy is this blush that's a little new to me. This is the Laura Geller blush in the shade Tropic Hues. It's one of their blush and brighten blushes. So let me see if this is anything like that Milani one. You know what? Actually, it is. And so this is the Milani one, and this is the Laura Geller one, and the Laura Geller is actually a little bit lighter, but it kind of has like a similar glowy vibe. So I'm going to keep the Laura Geller one and declutter the Milani one. So keep Laura Geller and declutter the Milani since they're so similar, but this one's a little lighter, so it'll be better for my skin tone. Okay, and then I have two of the Sephora colorful blushes. I have the shade Shame on You and the shade So Euphoric, and these two are in the two most popular shades of blush that I wear. So these two guys kind of look like this. Of course, my Dusty Rose and my more peachy warm tone ones. So I love the Sephora colorful blushes, so I'm gonna keep both these guys. These aren't going anywhere. I wear these a lot actually. And then I have this guy right here. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Illuminator palette. This palette has made it through so many declutters, and I never wear it from declutter to declutter. But I keep it every time. And I keep it every time because once I pull it out and I go like this and I like mix all the shades together and then I swatch it on myself, it gives you like the most beautiful light flushy sheen on my hand, but like I know I'm never gonna wear this. It makes it through every declutter. I need to let it go. So I'm gonna let this guy go. Okay, Benefit box blushes. Benefit box blushes are some of my faves. I have 3 shades. I have Dallas, which is more of like a cool tone brown, kind of similar to this MAC one that I kept right here, but also a little bit different at the same time. A little more purple undertoned, a little more brown undertoned. But I have like a secret obsession with Benefit box blushes. This one is in the shade California, and then this one is in the shade Dandelion, like a soft pink. So all 3 of these are completely different finishes, different tones, and I like to collect these. So I am going to keep the Benefit box blushes. Okay, next up I have 2 Pretty Vulgar Cosmetics blushes. This one is in the shade number 18, Hush Blush. This is like a, again, dusty rose kind of color. As you can see, these are obviously my fave colors of blush. This blush is really pretty. There's a lot of stuff that is pretty vulgar at TJ Maxx right now, so you guys should definitely keep your eye out. And then this one is some crazy funky color, number 111 Prime Vixen. I can tell you right now that I have never worn this as a blush ever in my life. I have only used this as like Halloween makeup type status. So this one's really pretty. This one's really crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the one that I know I wear all the time and declutter this kind of crazy color that I know I'm never gonna wear. Okay guys, we're getting so close. Okay, this is another Sephora blush. They don't make these blushes anymore. I got this one on sale at Sephora whenever they were getting these blushes kind of out of their rotation. This is a micro smooth brush, and this one's in the shade Tea Rose Tickle. This is such a pretty blush. It's like my favorite kind of tone of blush on this side, like that Dusty Rose, and then this one's like a mauvey shiny purple. So when you mix them together, you get like a really pretty color that I don't really have anywhere else in my collection, kind of like a shiny light lilac color. So I'm definitely going to keep this guy even though it's discontinued. I can't use it in videos, but I like it in my personal life. And then this is the Too Faced Sweet Peach blush right here. This guy is so pretty, peachy, glowy type of color. I'll put it right above that last blush. There, that guy is right there. Definitely a very glowy blush. I can only wear this when my pores and everything are under control because it's super glowy on the cheeks, and so I have oily skin, but I do love this blush and it smells so good. The Sweet Peach stuff has beautiful packaging as well. Okay, and then I have 2 of the Maybelline Fit Me blushes right here. This one's in the shade number 40. It's kind of like a peachy kind of shimmery color. There's a little bit of shine to it right there. This blush is really pretty. It kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm, to be honest. Kind of looks like that right there. And then the other one I have is number 10. This one again kind of reminds me of all those other blushes that I have that are kind of like brown undertoned. This blush is really, really light and you can barely even see it on my skin tone, and I really like the one above it. So I'm probably going to keep this one and declutter this one. Okay guys, and I have two loose blushes in my collection. This one is by Studio Makeup, and this is their Luminous Loose Blush. It doesn't really have a shade or anything on it. And then this one is by Bare Minerals. This one is in the shade Strawberry Cream. I recently rediscovered this in one of my videos, kind of testing out some old faves. And Bare Minerals as a whole used to be such an old fave for me. They were one of the first brands that I ever started wearing in high school when I started wearing makeup. And I rediscovered this blush and how beautiful it was. So I'm definitely going to keep this blush by Bare Minerals for sure. And this Studio Makeup one I really haven't dove too far deep in, to be honest. This is one of the blushes that was kind of pushed back in my collection. But these two loose blushes are definitely two completely different tones. The Bare Minerals one is on the bottom and the Studio Makeup one is on the top. Much more of like a peachy, warm kind of orange vibe, and this one's more of like a dusty strawberry cream color. So I'm okay with keeping both loose blushes because they're completely different. Okay guys, three more individual blushes. This one right here is again another blush by Lancome. This is their Trio in the shade number 310 New Nude. I think this guy is like a mini that I got. Yes, this one's like a little mini. So technically it's like a contour blush highlighter, but I used to just kind of swirl them all around together and kind of like mix it in my brush. So that's kind of the shade right there. Again, nice kind of like browny mauve color, but I kept already 3 or 4 of those, so I'm gonna let this guy go again. And then we have 2 left. This is the LA Girl blush in their Just Blushing formula. This is the shade 482 Just Bare. Again, kind of like a mauvey brown kind of color. I have used this blush before on my channel. It's a really pretty mauvey brown color. Like I just said, I don't use this one every day, but I do like it for when I do drugstore videos. So that way I have like drugstore blush options. So I'm going to keep this guy for videos. And then if you've been watching me the past month or so, you would know that I fell in love with these Cover FX little duos. They're the monochromatic blush duos in the matte shimmer. This one's in the soft peach shade. So one side is a matte blush and the other side is like a blushy highlight. So I usually just mix the two of them together, and they're literally so stunning, you guys. Like, look. So we're definitely keeping this blush for sure. Okay guys, so I got all the blushes to mainly fit in that new Impressions Vanity one, but since the slots were so thin, some of my bigger products wouldn't fit in there, so I had to break out one of my old organizers that are a little thicker from Amazon. So I'm going to have one section for my thicker blushes in the front, and then my Impressions Vanity one here, and then if I wanted to, I could even put another one back here one day if my collection grows bigger, but majority of my blushes did fit in this guy right here. Kind of bummed that some of these ones up front didn't fit in there. That's kind of what I bought it for, but that's okay. So I have a section for my bigger, fatter blushes, and then all my thinner ones back here. Okay guys, so this is what we got my collection down to once everything is kind of said and done, which is pretty exciting. I definitely cut out a lot of blushes and they're so much cleaner and more organized in here. I can definitely see everything a lot better. Okay guys, so there you go. There's decluttering all of my blushes so everything can fit really nicely in here. I'm going to go ahead and save all of the face palettes that I had in the back of my drawer for my next decluttering video because I have a smaller collection of bronzers, so I think I'm going to do my bronzers and my face palettes together. So stay tuned for my next decluttering video. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch my one with all my blushes. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Tap the bell so you be notified of all my future uploads, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!